welcome to the FoodCycle Nutrition Chat. I'm at Mission Kitchen in London, FoodCycle HQ. My name's Alex. I'm the South and Wales area manager and also FoodCycle's nutritionist. And we'll be going through some tips on nutrition, food waste tips, money saving tips, and how to best help our guests. And I'm joined by Hannah and Sue.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm the Assistant Nutrition Manager at Danone UK Ireland, where we have a long-standing mission of providing better health through better nutrition to our communities. We're proud to be partners with FoodCycle and supporting them in providing healthy, nutritious meals to as many communities as possible. I'm super excited to be here today to share some practical nutrition tips and support healthier eating habits across FoodCycle communities.
And my name's Sue Baic and I'm a registered dietitian. I've been working in the field of public health nutrition for many years. And my job today is to pick the brains of Alex and Hannah and ask them some challenging nutritional questions, which we hope will help you as volunteers. Okay, let's move on to think about whether there might be any particular nutritional requirements in guests. So should we look at pregnant women and children? I'll go to Hannah first. What about in pregnancy?
Yeah, so women during pregnancy do have additional nutritional needs, particularly for iodine, iron and calcium. So it's even more important to get a good balance and variety in the diet this time.
Foods that might need to be avoided.
So it's recommended to limit your caffeine intake during this period and also to avoid alcohol, unpasteurized products and blue cheese.
Okay, and unwashed fruit and veg, I guess, as well.
Yes, yeah, that's another one, yeah.
Okay, what about any particular supplements that you'd recommend?
So there are two supplements which are recommended. This is folic acid and vitamin D.
What about in terms of benefits to somebody who's pregnant or has young children? Is there anything that you would signpost people towards?
So women who are pregnant or have a child under 4 may be eligible for the Healthy Start scheme, which provides support in buying fruits, vegetables and milk, and also offers free vitamin supplements. You can find out if you're eligible on the Healthy Start website.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's really useful. What about children? I'll go to Alex. What about children if you've got fussy eaters?
Yeah, so we do get some children at FoodCycle meals. They do have higher nutritional needs, and it's really important that we try and provide them with, foods from each food group at the meals that we provide. It's sometimes a challenge because they can be quite fussy. They might refuse food. So it's really important to think about how we're serving the food to them. Can we make it fun and interesting? Can we provide different textures? Can we hide foods in lots of blended sauces and soups, things like that? So getting all their fruit and veg intake in that way.
Can I guess on like adding as a pizza topping or something like that?
Yeah, pizza toppings, pasta sauces, that kind of thing.
What about trying if a child doesn't like cooked veg? Is there any other way that you might try and serve?
Yeah, so serving them raw veg instead can be a really good way just to see if they prefer that texturally.
And I guess at home as well, involving them in the cooking.
Yeah,
more people are actually taking part in it.
Yeah, we can kind of advise our guests to get their kids involved in the kitchen. Obviously, we can't have children in the kitchen with us at FoodCycle, but getting kids involved at home can be a really nice way of getting them interested in food.
Let's move on now to think about a different age group. Let's think about older guests that we might have. And I've seen a statistic that suggests that there's around 3 million people in the UK that are at risk of malnutrition. And that includes 1 in 10 older adults, most of whom are actually living in the community rather than in a hospital or a care home. And I wondered what your thoughts are. Is it actually natural and usual to lose weight as we get older?
It is natural, but it's not something that we should, be happy with. We need to be making sure that people who are older are eating enough of the right foods. So making sure that they have enough calories, they have enough vitamins and minerals, and if they need to fortify their meals with, whole milk instead of semi-skimmed or skimmed milk.
So increasing the protein content.
Yeah, so increasing our protein content with, plant proteins, seeing how they can add them into recipes, adding peanut butter into smoothies, for example, and making sure they get enough fibre as well.
Great ideas there, because I guess being malnourished as we get older, it can really impair our ability to stay independent in the home, and it can affect most physical and mental health, really, can't it?
Yeah.
So that opportunity to offer really good messages about nutrition for older people is great. Okay, any extra thoughts, Hannah, on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of Alex's points. I think it can also be quite a misunderstood condition and often difficult to spot the symptoms. And it's often linked to existing conditions or diseases as well. And I think it can really, to your point, impact someone's quality of life and ability to stay independent and carry out their day-to-day tasks. So it's really important that we can prevent it from happening in the first place, and that careful attention to nutrition is taken, especially in older adults.
And if we had an older guest who was concerned, are there any sort of screening tools that people can use themselves to look at that?
Yeah, so there's a really good screening tool online. I think it will be shown at the end of this video, where you can use and follow the steps to spot the symptoms. I would say if those steps don't work, then to consult a GP, and they might be able to prescribe supplement drinks, but also refer you to a dietitian who can provide specialised advice.
Or even something like an occupational therapist in terms of equipment and support at home.
Yeah, and helping to adapt your home for cooking and preparing food.
So the really important thing is to try and look at the cause and try and address it, rather than just assuming that weight loss as we get older is natural. So moving on to think about types of special diets that our guests might have. Have you any experience with that? Let's start with Hannah.
So I think type 2 diabetes is maybe a sort of a common, dietary requirement. So there is no special diabetic diet or any special foods that you need to get for people living with diabetes. But it can help to eat healthily, especially to reduce intake of saturated fat if you do have diabetes. And I think also you may choose to reduce your added sugar intake through snacks and desserts, but a GP can refer anyone living with diabetes to a dietitian or a diabetes specialist nurse if they have any concerns about their diet.
So they can get some more individualised, personalised advice to help. That's great. So are there any other nutritional issues that we should consider perhaps with guests that might have substance or alcohol abuse issues?
Yeah, so sadly, it's something that we do see quite commonly in FoodCycle. We have a lot of guests with alcohol or substance abuse issues. And I think it's important for our volunteers to remember that accessibility of their food and the foods they eat isn't a priority to them. It might not be a priority to them. So it's good for our volunteers to understand that and then be able to provide nutritious meals with all of the food groups that they need, which they might not get at home or anywhere else they might be getting food.
So it's not only nutritional support, it's a great illustration, a reminder to people of the different mix of groups they should be having.
Yeah, definitely. We see a lot of guests who rely on quite sugary teas and coffees and drinks and snacks and things like that they might get when at other places when living their life. And so being able to provide them a meal with loads of fruit and veg, fibre and everything else can really help with their overall health.